Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will talk about official procedures and the documents required from foreign nationals when they want to marry in Turkey. Okay, when you want to marry in Turkey or in any other foreign country, the first thing required from you is your passport. You must have a valid passport to do official procedures in Turkey. If you have no valid passport or you are not staying in the country with legal status, you cannot have these official procedures. So the first thing, you must have your passport with valid date. Second thing required from you when you want to marry in Turkey is your birth certificate. You should have your birth certificate. Then the final document that is required from everyone marrying in Turkey is the certificate proving that you are single, that is, you are eligible to get married. In other words, it is also called marriage license. You must have marriage license to get married. If this is your second marriage, I mean you have already married and you have already divorced, then you have to prove that you have already divorced. Remember that you have to have all these papers in Turkish language. If the papers are in English language or in any other language, you first have to go to a translation office and you have to have these papers translated into Turkish and you have to notarize them, and after that you have to have them approved from local authorities. When you have your documents translated into Turkish, please pay attention to the translation. It is very important. For example, in Turkish there are two letters called I. It's a kind of is a kind of I without dots. I mean, in English language, when I is written in capital letter, it is written always like in Turkish. That is why when translation is done, please check your papers very carefully. Everything should be accurate and everything should be according to passport. If there is any inconsistency in the information, you may have to do all these official procedures from the beginning again. Sometimes people may change their names. If there is any change in your name, you must also provide a certificate proving the change in your name. Usually these certificates are court orders, I mean court decisions. You have to get them from local courts in your country. Like other documents, you have to have this document also translated into Turkish language and notarize it before you go to marriage office. Let's talk about some issues related to these documents. Now let's emphasize on this translation issue for a minute. In Turkey, it is not very easy to find sworn translator in some languages like Somalian, like Swedish language. If the documents you are going to provide in Turkey are not in languages which are very common to find, like German, English, French, I will advise you to translate your documents into these languages before you come to Turkey. If you can translate them to Turkish, that's much better. But if you cannot find Turkish sworn translator in your country, you please try to translate your documents into languages which are very common in Turkey. But that doesn't mean that when you come to Turkey, your papers translated into German, French or English can be used in Turkey. You will have to have them translated again into Turkish language. Remember that like in many other countries, Turkish government does not just give Turkish citizenship right after the marriage. First you get 3 years of residence. After 3 years, you will be eligible to apply for Turkish citizenship. You can never get Turkish citizenship just after marriage because officials try to check whether your marriage is genuine or it is just a kind of formality to get Turkish citizenship. I mean, after 3 years over, you will be eligible to apply for Turkish citizenship. When you complete translating all these documents into Turkish language, you will go to marriage officials in municipalities. Then you will have an appointment for official marriage. Remember that during official marriage procedures also you need sworn translator. It's very important. According to Turkish law, if any of the marrying part does not speak Turkish very well, it has to be carried out with the translation of a sworn translator. So don't forget that. In some countries, like in many African countries that I know very well, it's not possible to get marriage license because they don't issue any certificate proving that you are single. Because you need to prove that you are single, here what you can do, your parents or some of your relatives who know you very well can go to local notary offices. They can sworn that you are single. That notary paper will also be accepted as marriage license in Turkey. So let's try to summarize the official documents that are needed to get married in Turkey. First, you need passport. Second thing is you need birth certificate. And finally, you need marriage license, which shows that you are eligible to get married. And remember that all these documents should be translated into Turkish language and should be notarized and attested by local authorities. Okay everyone, today we talked about official documents and requirements for the marriage of foreign nationals in Turkey. If you like my video, please be a subscriber. If you have any further question, you can always contact me through social media. Thank you very much.